Hey everybody, Brian here from Fitzpatrick's. Wow, the road is noisy this morning. Anyway, this is a really nice 2019 Honda Civic Diesel Sedan. And in this video, I want to show you around the features on the outside of the car and the inside of the car, and we'll go for a drive in the car as well. If you're in Ireland and you want information on this car, 086 843 1945. Brian's my name. I'll be happy to run through information on the car, information if you have an old car for maybe scrappage, or if you have a trade-in, or if you want to know about the car that we have here, or if you want to know about finance. Alternatively, if you're just watching on YouTube and you want information about one of these cars, we're pretty well experienced. We are a main Honda dealer and we know these cars fairly well at this stage. So just let me know in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have. To start off, what I'm going to do is run through some of the features which I think are pretty nice on these cars on the outside, and then we'll jump in, drive it back to the garage, and once we get back to the garage then we'll run through the features on the inside. So one thing about saloons is they have some extra chrome that wasn't on the hatchback versions. So if you look around the window up high, there's this chrome surround. There's also these nice chrome door handles on the side of the car, and as we'll see in the front end, there's a big chrome grille. The wheels on these saloon models, so the hatchback version even had a black alloy wheel, which was diamond cut, whereas these are a silver diamond cut. So if you see in this morning, it's really shiny and reflective. They look really cool when it's driving. The taillights on the saloon versions are much more aggressive as well. So when you're driving behind these cars at night time, there's a really distinctive shape on the back. Trust me, if you're driving down the road some night, you will notice one of these, and the taillights really stand out. They're very, very cool. It's just an unusual shape, and they're massive with that kind of dual LED setup. And sometimes I find as well, which is something I really like, I can't explain why, but well, I just think it looks cool, I suppose. See this little side marker up here? You see when we get to the front, as you're driving behind one of them at night with those really cool lights and the side marker, it just makes the car look a bit wider and fatter on the road. Like what we were saying then, there is some extra chrome. So if you look at a hatchback version of one of these, it's got a big black nose on the front, so the grille is black, whereas the sedans have a more distinctive chrome grille sitting above the headlights and along the front grille. All these sedans then come in a minimum of what's called a Smart Plus spec, which is this one. So in the hatchback there was 3 models, like an entry model and a middle spec. This one is the middle spec starting off. There is no lower spec in a sedan. So that means front fog lights. You have these really excellent double optic headlights. So there's a daytime running light in through here, which is also a parking light, full and dips through here. And then these are the little side markers that I was talking about. I love them. I just like them to make the car look a bit wider. Very, very cool. 2 real points of note. Saloon cars in Ireland are actually disappearing because everyone has moved towards SUVs. So it's getting pretty damn hard to find a medium-sized saloon diesel car in Ireland that'll munch up a bit of mileage reliably for the next 5 to 10 years. One of the things I really love about these Civics is they just have a very distinctive kind of shape on the back. So like you're saying, when you're driving behind them at night, or even when you see them, they're a little bit different. That's what I like about Hondas. It's just something that's a little bit different than everything else you see on the road. There's some excellent cars out there, but I just like the fact that these look a little bit different. The boot in these cars, actually, it's technically bigger than its hatchback counterpart. I will admit the aperture from here to here is smaller, but the actual size of the boot is very, very big. Passes the golf club test and all that kind of stuff for most people. And actually, unusually enough in a sedan, you can pull these out and that actually allows you to drop the seats, which sometimes can be an issue on saloon cars. So it just allows you to drop them forward like you would in a hatchback car. One little bonus for anyone buying this car is the previous owner specified a spare wheel. Spare wheels are not standard on these cars, so if you are looking at Honda Civics, you generally will not find a spare wheel in the back, so that's a €350 bonus in the boot. The fuel cap on the back is quick fill, so you open, slot it in, there is no cap, and close, so that's quite convenient. And in terms of space in the back, well, first of all, the rear seats will have 3 large head restraints. There is Isofix over here. We have a load of Civics over the last few years at home, so they're very good for fitting child seats in and out, and quite easy to use. There's an armrest in through the centre with some drinks holders. There is kangaroo pocket over on the passenger side, and then electrics for windows, which are child lockable, and also child lockable rear doors. And there's some nice brushed aluminium along the door and door handle in through there as well. This particular car's also had privacy glass specified on the rear as well. So normally they don't come with dark privacy glass. I think they need it, especially on a black one. It just makes it look a little bit more upmarket, and it's really practical as well for stopping the sun beating in on top of young kids' eyes. For anyone that's curious about legroom, I'm going to have to do this really carefully because it's mucky out there anyway. So it's noisy. In terms of headroom, it's actually quite good. In terms of legroom, sitting behind my shed, it's excellent. So lots of space, even if you have kind of, you know, child seats and all that kind of stuff as well. Moving up front then, electrics for windows and mirrors. Down through there is aluminium pedals. There is height adjustable driver's seat with lumbar support for lower back. Steering wheel is rake and reach, so it goes in and out and up and down as well. And this car has a full service history from the garage as well. So we actually used to own the car brand new, And then somebody that actually works in the garage, their son bought the car from us, so there's a full Honda service history with our garage. Anyway, we'll go for a drive back to the garage and then we'll just have a look around the features on the inside of the car. So the other thing as well is the headlights are completely automatic, so they come on at night time and they dip when you meet traffic, and the wipers come on when it rains. And the key as well, you can use the key to turn the lights on or off from outside the car. In a kind of indirect fashion. I'll show you that if you were buying the car anyway. And the other thing as well is the key can be used to pop the boot open because it's a saloon version. Annoyingly, I'm an idiot, so I have a head cam that I normally use for this part of the video. A couple of cars to advertise today, and I totally forgot to bring it with me. Anyway, so I do apologise if this is a bit shaky. It shouldn't be too bad, but we've ended up having to wedge it in to the headrest. So anyway, so these cars, how they feel: really wide on the road. That is exactly how they feel. This is a nice example car. It drives good, you know, engine and gearbox and clutch and everything feels right. There's good power in terms of torque and stuff like so. It's 120 horsepower with 300 newton meters of torque. So just along there when I put my foot down a third, even from 1500 RPM, I got to feel like there's a lot of power in the car. That was one thing. These used to be a 2.2. Sorry, when they were the older model hatchback, and some people used to be afraid of a lack of power, so to speak. Oh, go fast. Anyway, so that seemed to die off once people drove these 1.6s, because the 2.2 was 340 newton meters, the 1.6 was 300, so there really wasn't much of a difference, and it was a lighter engine, so the car felt much more nimble and agile at the front. These cars always make me feel safe on a back road, motorway. They cruise well, but they sit on a back road where I like to drive a lot, or where I do drive a lot, and they just feel safe because it's wide and well planted. Anyway, don't take my word for it, come drive the car yourself. But the gearbox is savage. The gearbox feels really, really nice on these cars. Read any independent review and they always say the gearbox is lovely. So in terms of how the car drives, really well. Over here we'll have a look at the other controls in the car when we get back to the garage. The cabin on the car then, electrics for windows and mirrors. Down through here is parking sensors front and rear, so they make noise when you go backwards or forwards if you're too close to an object, and you have a rear camera as well. After that then there's lane change warning, so just for anyone, even if you own one of these, this warns you by vibrating the wheel if you drift out of your lane, whereas this one actively manages your steering. So this tries to keep you dead center, whereas this one just warns you as you depart a lane. There is cruise control and there's a speed limiter which can be set to slow down when it sees a speed sign on the road. So if you go into 50 zone and you're cruising at, I don't know, 80 or whatever it is, that'll see the speed sign and it'll slow you down if you're on the intelligent speed limiter. Like what we said already, wipers and lights will be completely automated, and then in through here this is a trip meter, so things like average speed and fuel efficiency and maintenance information, that all changes. Nice big easy to use digital clock for your speedo and all that kind of stuff. Over here then we saw there was reverse camera, and then this is Honda Connect screen, so you can have smartphone even connection, which is things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for Google Maps and Spotify and all that stuff. There is general navigation from Garmin on the car already anyway, all the usual settings, and it's a touch and swipe screen, which is nice and straightforward. Climate control, just press the button, again touch and swipe where you want the air to blow, air conditioning on or off, and then speed up and slow down the fan, front and rear windscreen demisters. Storage, there is USB connector, there is HDMI if you want to play video, a 12-volt outlet over through there, automatic handbrake, and econ button to reduce how aggressive the cruise control and air conditioner is. There is another USB connector there, and there is drinks holder, which can actually be turned into a double drinks holder, and then there's that really nice gearbox. There you have it. If there's more information you want on that car, 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. Call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. If you want information about trading in your car, financing car, if you got an old car for scrappage, whatever it is, or if you just want to know more about this really cool even diesel car. This is going to suit somebody that wants a reliable car with a good level of equipment. It's going to chew up a lot of mileage over maybe the next 5-10 years. Anyway, thanks a million for watching, guys.